Hi and welcome to Orbit. If you talk with someone about the iPhone, there will be the word ecosystem at some point, but other manufacturers do have an ecosystem too. And today I want to talk about the Google ecosystem. What are its strengths and what are the weaknesses? This is an ecosystem. Here with a frog and a bird, and then there's a worm and oh no, help, a bird, nom 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 nom. But when we talk about technology, we mean the interaction of multiple devices. These two keywords matter. Let's take a look at the famous example of Apple. The center of the Apple ecosystem is the iPhone. Connected to the iPhone is the Apple Watch, AirPods, smart home devices via HomeKit, and there's an Apple TV and an iPad and the Mac. And that's the first difference with Google. The center of Google's ecosystem is not the smartphone, but the Google services. That's the network that holds everything together. Android is a product of Google, but so is YouTube, Gmail, Maps, Docs, and the Google Calendar. The big thing that Google and Apple have in common is that they both produce hardware and software, and therefore everything can work together perfectly. These are the products we want to talk about today, the ones that Google made completely on its own. Google's design is not technical or nerdy. It's organic and it tries to integrate into your life. This router shows it well. This is what a Fritzbox looks like. This is the Nest Wi-Fi Pro. It's like a vase, or this television remote, or this watch. All Google products look friendly and playful. All of them match with each other visually. Apple's design language is called industrial design. Google's I would ascribe as human design, and that applies to the hardware and the software. Based on the wallpaper, the whole Android system adapts the color, but the devices can also change color in some way. Are you a fan of dark green? You're in luck, because there's the Hazel Pixel 7 Pro and the Pixel Watch with a matching wristband, and the Pixel tablet in hazel with matching cases. Or you can go quite plain on silver and white. Or maybe you like it professional and dark and graphite. Every person is different, and so every smartphone should be. That's the philosophy behind it. The most important object in our life is a smartphone. Google has 4 of those to choose from. The inexpensive Pixel 7a, the slightly better and more expensive Pixel 7, and the Pixel 7 Pro, which is bigger and has a zoom. Brand new is the Pixel Fold, a foldable smartphone. There should be something for every demand and budget. All of them have super cameras and the Tensor G2. That's a processor developed by Google itself, and it has a big focus on artificial intelligence. There's also a smartwatch to go with your smartphone, the Pixel Watch. It only exists in one size but 3 colors, and you can change the wristbands. There are 2 headphones to choose from. The Pixel Buds A, they are around $100 and they don't have active noise cancelling. And the Pixel Buds Pro. They do have noise cancelling and they are around 250 euros. Relatively new in the range is the Pixel tablet, also with the Tensor G2. It's beautiful to look at, but otherwise pretty ordinary, except for one aspect. The dock. It stands and charges on it. There's a speaker inside, and so the Pixel tablet can become the center of your smart home. Speaking of which, Google has many smart home products. The smaller and inexpensive Nest Mini, the larger and louder Nest Audio, and the Nest Hub, which is the same thing but with a display. So you can not only hear the infos, you can see them and easily control your smart home devices. There are many products out there that are compatible with the Google Smart Home interface. The Chromecast with Google TV is pretty small and it plugs into HDMI of your TV. There's an HD and a 4K version. On the Google TV interface you can install apps, included pretty much all of the streaming providers, and you can also rent and buy movies directly from Google. It is possible to stream videos from your smartphone to the Chromecast. Google has music in addition to movies, and it's called YouTube Music. You can get it for free with YouTube Premium. And then there's all the services like Google Wallet, where I can do my credit card but also concert and airline tickets. They are synced between all devices, including the Pixel Watch. Google has counterparts to Apple's iMessage and FaceTime. It's called Messages and Meet. Google Photos, on the other hand, syncs all my photos into the cloud between all my devices. Google Keep is what I use for my notes. I write all my texts into Google Docs. Because it's always online, I can sit there with multiple people on one document at the same time. And then of course there is Google Search itself. It's accessible right on the home screen on every Pixel device. And then there's the Google Assistant, and soon Google Bard. On the left side of the home screen there's also Google News. And the pre-installed browser is of course Google Chrome. The structure and look is identical between all Pixel devices. if you understand one, you understand them all. The best thing about the Google ecosystem is that I don't need everything from Google to make it work. I use a Mac and a Google Pixel and it works flawlessly. And I don't even miss much of the features that an iPhone can offer. I can use my Pixel Watch with a Moto Razr Ultra and nothing headphones. There are 4 scenarios when I think about the Apple ecosystem that come to mind. First, when you open up AirPods, a tile pops up at the bottom. This is also available with Google. But not only with Google headphones, but with all headphones that support this feature, even Beats, which is a company owned by Apple. Second, AirDrop. You can send data between devices. On Android, there's Nearby Share and it works exactly the same. Only with the difference that I can officially only send to Windows, but not a Mac. But with the GitHub program NearDrop, I can also send from an Android to the Mac, but I use Google Drive for everything else. Third, with Apple you can copy a text on the Mac or iPad and paste it on the iPhone. This is not possible with Google, but it is possible between Samsung devices. Fourth, you can use an iPhone or iPad as an extension of your Mac. For example, the iPhone as a webcam. This is not possible with Google, but it is with Lenovo. The same applies to the iPad. You can use it as a monitor for your Mac, but Google does not allow this. But Lenovo does. And those are just a few shortcomings of the Google ecosystem. They bought Nest in 2014, a maker of smart home devices. And since then, Google has its own security cameras, smoke detectors and doorbells. In the meantime, Google and Nest have merged, but in my opinion, they can kick the Nest name now. The same is true for Fitbit. They were bought in 2019. If you want to take full advantage of the fitness features of your Pixel Watch, you have to have a Fitbit account. That's confusing for the customers. Also, I don't have a lot of choice with Google. There's one smartwatch and one tablet. It's very different if you look at Apple. They have 6 different tablets and 5 smartwatches. Google doesn't have its own computer except for third-party Chromebooks. If I want to work professionally with media, Google has no product for me. I have to go to Windows, Mac or Linux. The biggest problem with the Google ecosystem is not that it is ugly or unreliable or expensive. None of those things apply. It is that Google discontinues some services or products after a while and we don't even know why. Google Stadia, for example, but there are other services too. For years there was no software development for tablets and smartwatches and we can still feel the consequences. Once Apple starts something, they usually follow through, even if the start was a bit bumpy. This is something Google should do too, to be successful but also to have the customers' trust. Conclusion: I found out while making this video that there is no Google ecosystem. There's no exclusive club, it's an open place where everyone can join. There are Pixel exclusive features, but not Pixel exclusive ecosystem features. So yeah, that's totally different from Apple. Apple has exclusivity. When you use one device, you add another and they work with each other, and sometimes you can't even take out one device. You really need an iPhone to make an Apple Watch to work, stuff like that. With Google, that's not the case. You can switch happily between manufacturers. And the Apple ecosystem is way more expensive than the Google ecosystem. If you get a basic set of devices, you pay almost 1,000 euros more. Google still has a lot of room for improvement, but they are on the right track. And it will take years to have the same devices as Samsung and Apple, but maybe that's not the vision. Google is a software company after all, and they are only developing the pixels to show a vision of what they think a product with Google services should look and feel like. And I think they're doing a great job at that. So I hope this video helped you, and if you want to see other ecosystem videos, please leave a comment. Bye.